What's up, y'all? Welcome back to The Clutch. My name's John. Today I'm going to be telling you why you're breeding your rats wrong. Stay tuned. So everyone wants to be a snake breeder and everyone wants to be a rat breeder because it's more economical, right? But at the end of the day, a lot of people aren't caring for their rats the right way to provide maximum output. I will say these are all feeder rodents. So with that in mind, they're not getting quite as much, how do I want to put this? They're not getting quite as much enrichment as we could provide them, just because there's a constant, like, we try to take care of the breeders, we handle them, we do things like that, we keep them tame, we actually keep them. One of the things I pride myself on in this rat breeding is that we keep these animals pet tame, and you'll see that with all the rodents that we go through. I really do treat these rats like they're my pets. So even though they're snake food at the end of the day. As bad as that sounds, don't come after me for it. Snakes gotta eat. Snakes eat rats. It is what it is, circle of life. First thing I want to talk about is kind of the age, right? Most people, depending on the type that you do, you can either do maternity or colony breeding. I prefer the colony breeding just because that's what I've always done. You can do maternity. From what I understand, it yields a larger outcrop of babies because you have more females getting pregnant at once, right? As long as you have the space to do it. I don't like to breed anything beyond a year. While there are methods to get about 2 years out of your males or a little over a year out of your females, I feel like breeding them for an entire year is putting too much stress on the animal. I like them to live a nice, happy, healthy life. What we like to do for colonies is a 1:3 to 1:4 ratio. So 1 male for 3 to 4 females. I do have a couple of males that are greedy and they won't breed unless they have 4 to 5 females. So when you're doing your rat production, these are essentially weaned, right? Their ears have popped out. They're ready to come out. I try to leave them and see, like, this one's ears haven't popped yet. They're close, but they're not quite there. Hey, mamas. This is way too much for one bin. So obviously we want to get all the weans out. Hey, mamas. It's all right. Hi, sir. How you doing? Hey, my buddy. The next thing I want to talk about is what you're seeing right here is a horse pellet, which is made predominantly out of wood. It's okay for them to have the wood. So this is the wood pellet that we put underneath. It's just a horse pellet. You can get it from Tractor Supply. We get all our supplies from Tractor Supply at this time. But this gives them something to chew on, and when they chew on it, it turns into dust. And what that dust does is it helps, kind of like a kitty litter, and keeps the ammonia buildup from getting through on the pine, so they stay cleaner. So it's really important, just using that. Like I said, it keeps it cleaner. The biggest thing with rodents is they have to stay clean. You're not going to get good productivity from your rodents unless they're clean, and you're going to end up with health issues if you're not maintaining that cleanliness. Let me see, I think we have one. I forget which one it was. Wasn't that one? Where was it? Where was one of these? There it is. So this colony, it's alright, Mama. This colony got a little too dirty for its own good before we cleaned it on the last one, and she was doing that sideways spinning craziness because she had gained an ear infection. But I just wanted to say, or stress, essentially, the importance of maintaining cleanliness. Now, we kind of rotate, so what you're seeing right now is our breeder section. Over on the other side of the garage, we have our grow up and for sale rodents. Usually when we pull, I feed my collection from that pole, and then we'll put out all the animals for sale or what we're growing up for the replacement of colonies, because we do about 8 months here. I don't like to breed anything beyond 8 months. Like I said earlier, I think it gives them an opportunity to enjoy their last couple of months. While it's not probably the smartest business savvy thing to do, I like to let them die in peace. I don't want to work them until their last day. Jump into water. Water and hydration, just like anything, plays a huge role. Plays a huge role into their health. As you can see, there's some that have buckets, but the majority of it is water bottles. I like to do water bottles just because that water bottle forces me to come in every single day, spend time with the rodents, actually get to know them, interact with them, and I feel like by me forcing myself to come in and spend time with them every day. So sticking with the waters, like I said, I like to use the water bottles because it forces me in every day. The issue with that is you get sediment and little bits of their food and everything will crawl in there. So you have to do a deep clean on the water bottles. You also have to check the rubber seal within them, make sure there's not buildup coming, make sure it's sitting in there properly. See this one? See a little bit. So that's starting to get a little bit of buildup. A little dirty. But again, so this week when we do our deep clean, we will be deep cleaning water bottles and everything. So with these, my partners, which I love dearly, they want to go back to buckets. They just think it would be easier. So we're trying it out on some, and we're playing with how we want to do it. Like I said, I like to be in here every day. I will still probably be in here every day, no matter what. We are looking to actually go to a commercial building later this year, so it won't be just in my garage. Everything, like animals, family, everything. We have a water purification system on the house that runs through like a triple osmosis system. So everything gets water through that entire system, so make sure that they're getting the best quality. I truly feel what you put in is what you get out. Now, when I first started rodent breeding, so I went and I was like everyone else, and I was like, well, I'm trying to save $1 and I'm trying to make this as cheap as I could go, right? Well, sometimes the cheapest way, even when it works, isn't necessarily the best way for you. And oftentimes it's definitely not the best way for you. So I used to use what was called doggy bag. And doggy bag over the years has changed in size, it changed in nutritional value, if you started looking at the bag, all kinds of stuff. So I don't use this crap anymore. I just kind of left it there because we didn't have tubs there. So what I use now, or what we use now, is the Missouri 6F rodent diet. You can see this is just pulled versus something that's been out for a couple of days. I don't know if you can see the color difference right there, but I can see it. The camera might not be picking it up. This is definitely brighter. This is oxidized a little bit. So you could tell when your food's kind of getting old. If it turns into the color like the dog food again, you know it's been out for way too long. I think the freshness of the food plays a vital role in it as well. And as long as you're not overfeeding them, you more likely than not are going to be just fine. So everyone says Missouri 6F is the top of the line, and I'm going to disagree with it. While I love it, it's what's available in my area, I think that it still lacks a lot of nutrition. And one of the things I want to do here right now is actually shout out the girls, Jessica and Jana, in the Holdback Rack. They just did a podcast about rodents and rodent nutrition, and I found it really informative, and I think they did an excellent job. So I'm going to put that link down in the description below. Make sure you go check them out after this, or maybe I'll put it in a card, I don't know. It'll be on this video somehow. So Missouri 6F, everyone uses it. It's the industry standard. So like I said, Missouri 6F is great as a base. I think it's very important to supplement these animals constantly. Everything in my collection gets black oil sunflower seeds. I throw vegetables that we decided not to use in the house to everything. I'll chop it up, give them treats, even some fruit. I try not to go too much in fruit because it's really high sugar, and a lot of the stuff that we eat is very acidic, which could throw off their pH balance and kind of makes the animals. So rats are very sensitive to their diet, and they know exactly what they need, and if you oversupply one of their needs, you're gonna have to figure out how to counterbalance that. One of the other things I supplement a lot of, are fresh sweet potatoes, which are great. Super healthy. They give them the carbs, doesn't give them grains. Grains are actually really bad for most rodents, even though they use grains kind of as a filler, or like cornmeal or stuff like that, which is bad. One of the things that's great for them, and something you find in their natural diet, is seeds. So like flaxseed and the sunflower seeds, as long as they're de-shelled, or the black oil sunflower seeds. So like regular sunflower seeds, when you get them, they salt them after they roast them, which would throw the salt and sodium levels in these guys through the roof. They're gonna drink a crap ton of water. They could end up with like UTIs, all kinds of other crap that you just don't want to deal with. So don't give them excessive salt. But for the seeds, that's what they would naturally eat in the wild if these were wild animals. So again, you just want to vary their diet. I also like to throw mealworms at everything, which they go freaking insane for, regardless of it's Norwegian or ASF, because we do both here. While the pellet food is great, it's a great base. You need to supplement for these animals, and think about the balance. Just like with humans or any other animal, it's all about the diet. You're gonna get the most out of them by providing the proper diet. If there's not pinks or pups or something underneath a wean, if that's like the last cycle for the month, I try to leave those babies in a little bit longer to get extra nutrition if I can. Because once they get moved over, it's kind of a free-for-all. So instead of the colony, this is where they get to grow out, they get to get separated. So we have it broken up, male, female. These are future breeders right here. These are all the for sale. And then that's pretty much it as far as like how I set up the rats. So I hope with all of this, I was able to give you some ideas to think about with your rodents, with your ASFs. ASFs do need a higher protein content in their food. So giving them treats of mealworms and extra sunflower seeds and things of that nature really help out in their production. And I'm lucky enough to have little babies go in, and it makes me very happy, and I love these guys dearly. A lot of people hate on the ASFs, but I really like them. I think they're wonderful, and as long as you keep working them, you tend not to get bit anywhere near as much. It's also very important to find a line that people have already worked. You're getting ready to go, mama. Yeah, she's getting ready to go. Get that food here. Nom nom nom. It's very important to work the ASFs, especially if you're going to do it. If you're near the El Paso area and you're looking for rats, I'm just going to throw it in there. We are distributing rats now. So if you're interested in rats, if you're near El Paso and it's somewhere that we go to a show, I have no issue around those show times bringing you some colonies or something like that, or just bringing you an order. So reach out to us, let us know. Emails down below, and you can find me on every single social media platform. If you have any questions about anything that I covered here, hey, don't be afraid to reach out. It's all a learning process. I think that we only grow better together as a community by doing things like this. So you're helping me by making me research more if you're asking me a question I don't know. And then if you enjoyed this video, hey, make sure you give me a thumbs up. Share this out with your friends that are getting ready to breed rodents or that are breeders already. Maybe there's something in here that they didn't hear that could help them. I do actually want to follow along in the process at some point. I'm going to actually make an entire playlist specifically for rodents, so you could see kind of what we do and build it from start of raising up, creating that colony, and following through to production, wean, all that good stuff. So that way you can see hands-on, because I know I'm a very hands-on person. I hope you all enjoyed this. We'll see you next week. Y'all stay blessed.